What's up, you guys? So I'm here from OneGlanceTrader.com, and I'm back with another pullback trading strategy EA, which is absolutely free, where this time we're using the Bollinger Bands as the pullback method. And if you guys are new to the pullback trading series, there's a playlist link down below which goes through all the different types of pullback strategies we've created and all the free EAs going with them. So we started with the RSI as the pullback method, then the stochastics, and then the CCI, and now we have the Bollinger Bands. And these are based on the emails and the feedback that I've been getting from you guys in terms of trying different indicators. And what I've been doing is stress testing them across the same 5 currency pairs over the time period of 2021 or 2020 rather, and showing you guys the results, and having you guys download them, use your own optimization settings, and showcasing your kind of back testing results. And really appreciate the emails you guys have been sharing with me of the different types of periods you've been using, or different reward to risk that you guys have been using to get better results over a longer period of time. And some people have come back said that I've tried it over 2-3 years and it doesn't work. And I'm not here to say to you that this is the be all and end all of pullback methods, and it's for you guys to really take the concept and the framework and kind of utilize it best how you want to do it. What I am looking at is, so you guys know, is I'm looking to convert all these EAs into indicators, because a lot of you guys use other elements in terms of your trading strategy, like round number levels, divergence, etc., which is not built into these EAs. And so having these as indicators will then help you, give you the guys the signals, and then able to use other things to whether or not to take a trading decision, as opposed to leave it to an EA. So the way I'm utilizing this is I'm utilizing the EAs to see which one on a blanket surface does the best on which currency pair, and then I'll be utilizing the indicators, which I'll be releasing shortly, on those currency pairs and overlaying other technical indicators. So we'll be going through those once those indicators are released, and as always, absolutely free. So in this video, we'll be going through the input method, the EA, the test results or the currency backtest results, and where you can download this EA absolutely free. So in terms of the strategy again, if you've watched these videos, will follow the kind of same framework. But what it firstly uses, it uses the exponential moving average to identify the trend direction. So in this chart example over here, this blue line represents the 200 EMA, and when price is above the 200 EMA, we are trending up, or we're bullish, or if price is below the 200 EMA, we are trending down. So in this particular example, we are trending up, so we are looking for long trades only. And this is where we use the second indicator, or the pullback indicator, in this case the Bollinger Bands, to identify overbought and oversold kind of areas. So for those of you who are relatively new to the Bollinger Bands, it's a volatility indicator that uses a moving average, and the default is 20-period moving average, and then it then calculates 2 standard deviations apart from the moving average to do the upper band and the lower band. And one of the most popular ways to trade the Bollinger Band is that if price goes outside of these bands, it's very likely to mean revert back to the moving average, as you can see in this particular example. It doesn't have to, because in this particular example over here, price continues to trend up, and that's called the walking the bands trading strategy, which is different. So what we're looking for, in case of a buy signal, we are looking for when price is above the 200 period EMA, and when price crosses above the lower Bollinger Band. So where I've highlighted here in these 3 particular areas, and to be fair, I don't think this one is actually a signal. These 2 are where price is closes below the Bollinger Band, and then closes when it crosses above the Bollinger Bands. It will take a long trade. So this one isn't really actually a signal, but this one is, because it closes under the Bollinger Bands, and then on the close above the Bollinger Bands, it will then take a long trade in this scenario. So there's is how you would take a trade, and it's similar to a sell signal. So we are looking for price to be below the 200 EMA and for price to close below the upper Bollinger Band. So let's assume the EMA was at the top here. When price closes back into the lower upper Bollinger Band, it will take a sell order there, take a sell order there, and we'll take a sell order there in the hopes for it to go down. But that's just an example, but this is a bullish example that I'm showing as it currently stands. So this EA is absolutely free. The link is down below inside the members area. As with all the other, the RSI, CCI, and stochastics versions are also available absolutely free on there. And you will notice that the layout of the input settings is exactly the same as the other EA downloads. So we firstly have the pullback method, which is in this case is the Bollinger Band. So again, there's so much optimization you can do with this. You can change the period, you can change the standard deviation or the band shift. You can have a look at the moving average settings. So again, the default is set to 200 exponential at a close price. But again, you can play around with different periods, and a lot of you guys have been playing around with this to get better settings. And whether you want more trades or less trades, you can have a play with these settings. And then from a risk management perspective, again with an EA, I've decided to use the ATR, which is the average true range, which kind of measures the volatility of a currency pair over a given number of bars or periods. So the default is 14, and I've just set it to a 1-to-1. So the stop loss will be 1x the ATR, and the take profit will be 1x 1x the stop loss. So 1x the ATR as well. So that they will calculate in terms of the distance where you stop loss and take profit. In terms of your lot sizing, again, there's two options here. You can either use a fixed lot size, and again the default is 0.01, or you can use a percentage of your account, 1%, 2%, etc., etc. And then lastly, you've got alert notifications as well if you were to trade this on demo or live, with alerts through your smartphone or desktop or laptop, whichever one you're preferred to be using, or a VPS. So in terms of the back test that I do, and this is exactly the same. I'm trying to be consistent across everything that I do. And again, I've just chosen 2020 as I've got a year period. I could have chosen 2019 or 2019 to 2020. I just chosen 2020, and again, you'll have different results if you just did 2019 or if you did 2019 with 2020. So it just gives me a gauge in terms of what we're looking at. And then I've kept the pairs are there on the screen. I'm not going to go through them. The spread is 2 pips. Again, that's a bit of an over-exaggeration. The broker I use, MyFX Markets, you're generally between 0.5 to like 1.5, depending on which currency pair and the volatility of the pair at the time. In terms of risk management, again, we started with $1,000, and you can see here that I've gone for a 2-to-1 reward to risk and 2% per trade, risk per trade, and that's identified with the stop loss at 4x the ATR and the take profit at 8x the ATR, and the difference between the two is obviously 2, giving us the 2-to-1 reward to risk. And then obviously the lot size, I've changed that from 1% to 2%. So without further ado, let's go into the results. So again, I don't want to spoil the results for the other back tests that I've done. I will do a video once I've finished kind of going through the different indicators, just to do a summary of which one worked the best and kind of rank them, or you can go look at the videos if you're interested to have a look. All bar one currency pair over that year period was in profit. So in terms of from a trades perspective, I will say that there was a lot lower trades than the other 3 indicators we used as pullback methods on there. So we may need to tweak around the moving average period or the standard deviations if we want to get more trades as part of this strategy. But I still think, you know, between 160 and 183 is a good enough range to give us a good gut feel. Win rate, you know, one of the higher win rates out of all of them. You know, with the Euro USD, you know, at 43%, and drawdown as well as, you know, again, without spoiling the results of the other ones. Again, some of the other, you know, drawdowns were in the high 50s, 55s, and even the one on the USD Chef where we did make minus $53, and we'll look at how the P&L ebbed and flowed throughout the year in a second. You know, was at a drawdown of 37, which, you know, in comparison to some of the other ones, isn't that bad from that perspective. And as I said, you know, all currency pairs were in profit, with the Euro USD absolutely smashing it. You know, 157% ROI, and I will say that is the highest ROI we have seen across all of them for it. And the Euro USD had a pretty trending view last year, which did help in terms of the strategy that we're opting in for from this perspective. So just having a look now to see how the equity curves kind of played out. So Euro USD was the smoothest one, you know, in terms of not many ups and downs there, kind of normally trending up towards the back end of the back test where it started to dip back down slightly. So if we look at the USD Chef, the one that was in negative, it went all the way as high as just under, you know, 25%, around 1250 in terms of overall return, evened itself out, and then started to kind of go down from there, and then even itself out between up and down in profit. So you can kind of see that all of them kind of, you know, were trending upwards, and, you know, we had highs of, you know, just under 1300, so 30%, you know, around 50 odd percent for GBP USD, and, you know, nearly had around, you know, what's that, about 60% for the Aussie dollar as well before it started to kind of taper off, which is encouraging. It's encouraging that not everything was kind of going down from the beginning. So I guess it depends on when you start the back test and all that kind of different stuff. But again, it's encouraging to see that with the kind of default settings of the Bollinger Band, without no optimization as part of it, and with a 2-to-1 reward to risk, and if you change that to a 1-to-1, to a 1.5-to-1, or even the 3-to-1, you know, it will give you completely different results. So again, I'm using it as a framework, so then when I build these indicators, I know to use X pullback method on Y currency pair, and then if I overlay other technical factors to give me that momentum to, you know, to have high win rate trades at a really good reward to risk ratio. So again, make sure you pick up this EA, absolutely free. Love to hear your feedback. Again, keep hitting me up with the different pullback methods, and we'll see if you guys are still interested, because these are some of my popular videos and you guys are enjoying seeing this stuff, so I will continue to do them. So you'll see now the playlist and some of the other ones, the CCI, the RSI, and the kind of stochastics versions as well. So make sure you go check out those videos. Make sure you subscribe, like this video, and I shall see you guys in the next video.